G'day, welcome back to Hardtop Fab. Got a surprise today. Last night I picked up the struts to go over for the roof. So now I can begin putting them on. I'll show you right now. That's them there. You can see there's a bit of a bend in them. So that's it. That's that's perfect. That's exactly what I wanted. So we've got five of them to go across here, as I've been saying. So quick rundown. I've put these on here for just a bit of strength for the down tubes when they're going down to the front. So that's just to strengthen up, just so I don't have to weld onto just straight plate. So I've just gusseted all them and welding all. Look how many welding's going all right. I know it's not perfect, everyone. I know. Oh, that one. Don't look at that one too much, but anyway. But yeah, so that's where I'll weld the down tubes down to. The run down in front of the windscreen. Rod tubes are in and welded in. I know, they're not exact, but you know what? I'm not exact. And this side. So today's little project is get those things, our cross bracing, in there. So I've just been cutting out these, notching out these for the bracing to go across. I'll put a string line up to get the middle, and it's pretty damn good. So I've notched them out quite well. There's not much of a gap there. I'm going to bend that over, weld right up around there, and then the sheet's going to come across the top, and then down here, yes. So I'm pretty happy with how that's going, and I will show you how we did it. So I just made myself a template. So I cut that out and just stuffed around with that. Did a template, did that for both ends. And now I'll take that off and use that as the template. Or maybe not. Well, I've done it. Check it out. Pretty good, eh? So, like I was saying earlier, just notched them out, and I had to do a bit of modifications to them, but that's about it. That's where they're going. The next thing is get all these welded in and put the sheet on. So that'll be interesting. It'll be nice and fun. So I'll see ya on the next one. G'day guys, welcome to Hardtop Fab progress report. So over the last couple of days we have been putting the stays in. I think the last video I showed you we'd notched out the stays to put in for the roof, the bends that were in those stays. So I got those bent up, I notched those out, I've put them in situ, and now they're all welded in. I've just spent the last couple of hours just touching up the welding that needed to be done. I flipped it over, welded out everything that needed to be welded out on the underside. I've now flipped it back over, and this is the So I know the welding's not 100%, but it's all getting painted like I've said. And there. So that's how they are, because they're going right up underneath here, and I've bent them so they come right underneath. There's no way they could fall out. I've bent this over and welded both sides, so there's no way that'll there's no way that'll break. I finished off the sides here. I know that looks a bit dodgy, but that's all good. I'll put a bit of bog in that. But they're all done. Welded those on. So all this will be covered. That's all going to be covered by the sheet. The sheet will come down probably, I don't know, 50 mil past that, and then come back here and some sort of design along here. I'm not sure yet, but the sheet will cover all this. Then I can put a really good weld on here, along here, in that gap, fill that gap so we get good peno. And same on both sides. That way the sheet will come down over this and it'll cover any dodgy welding. And let's face it, my welding's not that good. So we go back here. Again, I'll just explain. These are for where the front tubes come down over the windscreen. So what I've done is just put one either side and one in the middle and just completely welded them in, except for that bit. That's a bit too much of a gap to fill. But they're all in. I've made this. Have a go at this. Look how lovely that is. Look all the way up. Nice, beautiful little curve. Look at that. Right? So that's about it. Just cleaned them up, cleaned up all the welds. So basically now we're just about ready to sheet. Yes. So that's about it. It's not in its final resting position. But as you can see here, this is the top, as you can see. So this just gets sheeted. I'm just waiting on Zach from In Tune Marine. Thanks, Zach. Zach's going to come and do all the rewiring on the boat. And he's coming tomorrow. So I'll introduce you to Zach when he's here. And he's going to go through the best way to run all the wiring through here. I'll show him what lights we've got, what lights we're still yet to get, and where I want them placed, and how is the best way to get the wiring through. If I've got to run some sort of tube, like the LE tube, through the middle of this and get it down the side of the helm, which is the starboard side, obviously. So I want to run it down so it runs down the inside of that somehow. I'm just not too sure yet. They're going to be exposed, so that's how you're going to see them, obviously painted, but that's how you're going to see them from the inside of the boat. So when you're sitting in there admiring all my fabrication work, that's what you'll see. So I want to leave those exposed because in the boat they're exposed from factory. One thing I do want to, I'm going to notch holes in that bottom plate and plug weld it to the boat, as well as welding around the outside. So I'm yet to know, undecided as to whether that's going to be a good idea or not. So as you can see down there on the floor is the bait station. There's a couple of little modifications I want to make to that now, and so I'm going to get onto it. See you on the next one.